Everyone thought I was crazy. Maybe they were right. Because nobody in their right mind buys a house for $1. But that's exactly what I did. The advertisement appeared online late one night. A large Victorian house. 3 floors. Built in 1898. Price: $1. There had to be a catch. And there was. The town wanted someone to save it from demolition. The building had been abandoned for nearly 30 years. The roof leaked. The windows were broken. The walls were covered with mold. Most people saw a disaster. I saw an opportunity. 3 months later, I became the owner. The first time I unlocked the front door, I immediately understood why everyone avoided the place. The air smelled damp and ancient. Dust covered every surface. Floorboards groaned beneath my feet. It felt less like a house and more like a forgotten time capsule. Still, I was determined. Every weekend I worked. Cleaning. Repairing. Painting. Slowly the old mansion began coming back to life. Then, one rainy Saturday afternoon, I found something strange. I was removing damaged wallpaper in an upstairs bedroom. Behind the wallpaper was a door outline. A doorway. Completely hidden inside the wall. My heart started racing. I grabbed a flashlight and carefully removed more plaster. Within an hour, an actual wooden door appeared. No handle. No lock. Just a sealed door nobody had opened for decades. I pushed. Nothing. I pushed harder. Crack. The door suddenly swung inward. Cold air rushed out. A narrow staircase disappeared into darkness. I stood frozen. Who builds a hidden staircase inside a bedroom wall? Part of me wanted to leave. The other part couldn't resist. I switched on my flashlight and started down. The stairs creaked with every step. Dust floated through the beam of light. At the bottom was a small room. No windows. No furniture. Just shelves lining every wall. And hundreds of notebooks. Every shelf was packed. Dozens. Maybe hundreds. I picked up one at random. The cover read: January 14, 1932. A diary. Then another. And another. Years and years of diaries. Whoever lived here had documented nearly every day of their life. I sat on the floor and started reading. The diaries belonged to a woman named Eleanor Whitmore. According to her entries, she moved into the house in 1928. She lived alone after her husband disappeared under mysterious circumstances. At first, the pages described ordinary life. Gardening. Cooking. Town events. Then things became strange. Eleanor repeatedly mentioned someone watching the house. A man standing near the trees. Footsteps outside at night. Doors opening on their own. I assumed she was imagining things. Until I reached an entry dated October 3, 1936. That was the day she discovered something hidden beneath the house. Unfortunately, she never explained what it was. Instead, she wrote: If anyone ever finds these journals, do not trust the seller. That sentence sent chills down my spine. I looked around the hidden room. Suddenly it felt much smaller. Much darker. I should have left. Instead, I kept reading. The final diary ended in 1941. The last entry was only 2 sentences long. He knows that I know. If these pages survive, tell them I tried. That was it. No explanation. No ending. Nothing. I spent the next week obsessed. Who was Eleanor? What happened to her? And what exactly was hidden beneath the house? Town records provided some answers. Eleanor had vanished in 1941. Officially, she was listed as missing. Her body was never found. Nobody knew what happened. The mystery only deepened. So I decided to investigate the cellar. The basement was enormous. Stone walls. Low ceilings. Dozens of dark corners. For hours I searched. Nothing. Then I noticed a section of floor that sounded hollow. I tapped again. Definitely hollow. My pulse quickened. After removing several loose stones, I uncovered a metal hatch. Buried beneath the floor. The hatch opened surprisingly easily. Below was another chamber. This one much older than the house itself. Inside sat several wooden boxes. My hands trembled as I opened the first one. Gold coins. Hundreds of them. The second box contained jewelry. The third held old documents. Property records. Letters. Maps. It wasn't just hidden treasure. It was evidence. Evidence that someone had stolen land from dozens of families over a century earlier. The documents exposed one of the town's most respected founding families. Suddenly Eleanor's diaries made sense. She had discovered the truth. And someone wanted to keep it buried. For generations. The story exploded after I contacted local historians. Newspapers covered it. Experts examined the documents. Several museums became interested. The town even opened an investigation into its own history. As for Eleanor, researchers eventually discovered what happened. She had left town voluntarily. Using a different name. Apparently she feared for her safety after uncovering the secret. She lived quietly in another state until her death decades later. The hidden room wasn't built to hide treasure. It was built to protect the evidence. And thanks to her diaries, the truth finally came to light. Today the house is fully restored. Visitors often ask me what inspired me to save it. I always smile. Because the answer is simple. I bought a house for $1. But what I found inside was priceless. The end.